Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because it is going to be my September update for my makeup rehab series. This is the series where I talk to you guys all about the makeup that I spent last month, as well as the dollar value of the makeup that I used up from the previous month. So if you guys are interested in my September update for my makeup rehab series, then stay tuned. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you consider doing so before you go. I post videos every single Monday, Tuesday. No, my upload schedule has changed. I post videos every single Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So if that interests you at all, I hope you consider subscribing before you go. Other than that, let's just get into my September update. Okay, so essentially this is my version of a low buy, although I have budgeted myself $150, no, $125 every month, and I always get confused and can't remember if it was $125 or $150. So $125 every month, which I know doesn't sound like a low buy, but I also really just enjoy makeup and I have a YouTube channel and I didn't want to totally restrict myself. And mostly the purpose of this wasn't even to spend less money, it was just to pay more attention to my makeup consumption habits. So if it bothers you that I consider a low buy to be me spending $125 or less every month, then feel free to watch someone else's low buy, but my low buy, my rules. That's how it goes. My goal essentially in the year of 2019 was just to spend $1,500 or less on makeup, and then also my goal was to use up at least $1,500 worth of makeup. I'm really excited about my update, so let's jump into my recap of where we were up until this point, starting with what I have spent or what I have purchased. So through August I had spent $1,050.24, which was just a little bit over where I wanted to be. So I knew I sort of had to ease back at least one of the upcoming months, and I know that there will probably be another Sephora VIB sale coming up, so I knew I didn't want to spend my budget this month because I wanted to bank some of that beauty budget for the Sephora VIB sale. So I did only end up spending $65 this past month, and actually my 3 purchases came at the very beginning of the month. So up first from ColourPop, I did end up picking up the Baby Got Peach palette. I have resisted every other colorful palette release from ColourPop, but this one was really just speaking to me, and I really wanted to try one of the 12 pan kind of monochromatic palettes that ColourPop had released, and I really haven't even dipped into this, which is so stupid that I purchased this and was super excited about it and still haven't tried it. Story of my life. So I did purchase this. This was $12, and then I also picked up one of the blushes in the line, and this is in the shade Fresh and Peachy. Looks like this, and I actually do have this on my cheeks today. I've really been enjoying this. I just recently pulled this into a Shop My Stash because I had yet to try it, and I've used it I think 3 or 4 times now and really been enjoying this. And I can't remember if I said, but this was $8. And then I did pick up the Persona Identity 2 palette, which was $45. So this made up the bulk of that $65. This is what this palette looks like. I have only worn this one time, but the one time that I've used this so far, I was super impressed. So I definitely want to play around with this some more and really get my full thoughts and opinions on this palette. But I'm really happy that I decided to pick this up because I really like everything that I've tried from Persona Cosmetics. So I want to continue to support the brand. So yeah, so having spent $65, my total spending now on the year is $1,115.24 on a goal of $1,125. So I'm about $9 under where I want to be, which is incredibly nerve-wracking because again, I imagine the Sephora VIB sale will be coming up and then just all of the holiday releases. I'm kind of nervous. But I'm hoping fingers crossed that I can hit my goal. I remember after my May update, I was really feeling a little bit defeated. I was like, yep, there's no way I'm gonna reach my goal this year. Like, I'm not gonna hit it. I had spent a lot during the spring Sephora VIB sale because it was right around the time of my birthday, and I just went a little buck wild. But I've really reeled it in the last few months, so I'm really excited about that. Fingers crossed I still can hit my goal and keep the spending under $1,500 this year. But I do still think I've learned a lot about my makeup consumption habits this year, which I'm really excited about. And I will do sort of a wrap up to this series at the end of the year where I kind of talk about the things that I have learned from doing this series. And I do intend to do the series again next year, but I might give myself a larger budget because there's just some different things I want to do with my channel next year. So then let's talk about the products that I used up this past month. So as of last month, I had used up $1,181 worth of makeup, which is very exciting to me to have used up over $1,000 worth of makeup. That at least tells me even though I'm bringing stuff into my collection, I'm still clearly getting use out of products in my collection. I didn't use up quite as much makeup this past month as I have the last few months, but I'm still excited to say that I have finished up a few products. So I'm going to share those with you now. So I did finish up my Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup Healthy Glow Foundation. I really enjoyed this foundation. However, the shade range on this sucks. And I believe you can only pick this up on the Essence website. Therefore, I will not purchase this again. It only retails for $6.99. So a very, very affordable foundation and really beautiful on the skin. It gave just a really nice healthy glow without being too luminous. So I really did enjoy this, but I'm really happy to have moved another foundation out of my collection because I purchased so many foundations in the past. Well, last month I purchased 5 new foundations and I feel like I've made no progress in my makeup inventory numbers when it comes to foundation. So the more foundation I can use up and get out of my collection, the happier I will be. I also finished up this little primer from Hourglass. I've had this in my collection for a really long time. This is the number 8 primer, and this is a very hydrating, almost, I don't want to say oil-based primer, but it almost is like an oil primer, kind of. I don't know, it was a really interesting texture, and I ended up using this more as a serum on days that I wasn't going in with makeup at all, or maybe wasn't gonna be putting on makeup for like an hour or two, just because this took so long to sink into the skin. I would not purchase this in a full size or even repurchase a mini just because it wasn't really a primer in my opinion, and there's other skincare products like skincare oils and stuff that I would prefer to use over this. So I thought I was really gonna like this. I thought this was gonna be really nice for my dry skin, and while it is really hydrating and nice for dry skin, it just didn't work in the way that I wanted it to. And this little guy retails for $22, so this is a really pricey product anyway, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't fall in love with it. I also finished off a little mini of the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara. It cost $14 for a mini. I really enjoyed this mascara, and I think so I recently updated my makeup inventory and I have just an obscene amount of mascara. I think partially because I get them in like monthly subscriptions, but going forward I'm okay with purchasing high-end mascaras as long as they're minis. I've said in the past that I don't want to spend over like $10 on a mascara, and I don't think it's worth it to purchase high-end mascaras. However, because of the way that I personally consume mascara, I usually have 3 to 4 open at a time because I like to layer my mascara. Therefore, I like to use mini mascaras because I also like to throw away my mascara after it being open for 4 months. It's just like one rule that I have for myself. I don't like to use a mascara past that 4-month mark, just so that I don't have any eye irritation or any issues with that. So because most mini mascaras, even from high-end luxury brands, are usually around like the $10 to $15 mark, I am okay with purchasing higher end mascaras now. This is a really long tangent that you guys probably don't care about, but once I make it through some of my other mascaras, I will start to purchase mascaras that I love, even if they are high-end, but I will only purchase minis. So then I also finished up this Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. I really love this concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers that I've ever tried. I will replace this at some point. This retails for either $9 or $9.50. I think I counted it as $9. I believe it's $9. The shade range on this is okay. I had mine in the shade Light Cool, and I would like to purchase, I think, Light Neutral next time. I was in store swatching a little bit ago, and I think that'll be a better shade match for me, but this is super hydrating in my opinion underneath the eyes while still providing a good amount of coverage. It has more of a moussey consistency, which I actually really appreciate about this concealer, and I really liked this. So I was able to move this out of my collection, but like I said, I will eventually replace this. Really excited to have moved this out of my collection. So another foundation gone, and this, I think mine was going bad, to be honest with you. This is the number 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation. I used to really like this, but the shade match of this was awful for me. I had mine in the shade Cool Vanilla, and I just found that this pulled is very gray almost. It just was not a good shade match for me. The finish of it was okay, but just not a foundation that I loved. I almost considered just decluttering this at one point, because I was only about halfway through it and I was like, ugh, I just really don't like this. But we pushed through, we persevered, and I finished this guy off. This retails for $15.99. I don't know if you I purchased mine at Target. I don't know if Target sells these anymore, but that is what I paid for mine. Very happy to have yet another foundation out of my collection because like I said, I just brought 5 new ones in. I love foundation and testing new foundation. I can't help it. It's like a guilty pleasure of mine. But again, my foundation collection is out of control. So the more foundations that I can move out, the better. And then the last product is this Mario Badescu spray. And the reason I'm counting this in my like makeup that I've used up rather than like this is technically a skincare item, I also counted this as a makeup purchase, like when I was tallying up or counting like my spending. And for the most part, I have tried to keep my skincare separate from my makeup just because I'm okay in investing in skincare. So that wasn't an area that I wanted to really budget for myself. Like as I needed new products or replacements, I was just going to replace them. Skincare hasn't as of recently been an issue for me as far as overspending, just because I don't like to use a ton of skincare products at once or be testing a ton of skincare products at once. Towards the end of last year, I felt like I got to a really good place with my skincare routine and just kind of wanted to keep that where it was. So another long tangent about why skincare wasn't counted towards my beauty budget. But I did count the Mario Badescu spray towards that budget because sometimes I use this as a priming spray, sometimes I use this when I'm finished with my makeup, sometimes I use this to just refresh throughout the day. And I really love the Mario Badescu sprays. I have another one in my collection. I have the lavender one right now. This one was Orange Blossom. I can't remember if I said that. And I really like the Orange Blossom scent for the summertime. My 2 favorites are the lavender. The lavender I love to spray on my face at night. It's like my guilty pleasure. I just love how calming it is. It's just anything lavender before bed, even if it's placebo effect, I just do feel like it makes me more calm. And then I really like the Orange Blossom scent again for the summertime. I thought it was very, very beautiful. Loved to use this to refresh my makeup throughout the day, and it was not hard for me to go through this. This I counted as $7. These might retail for $7.50 now, but I just counted it as $7, bringing my total for makeup used for the month to $74.98, which I'm still very, very happy with. That brings my grand total used so far this year to $1,256.02. Feeling good about this one, you guys. However, I will say, as I was counting all my makeup and getting ready to film my makeup inventory, I'm not sure if that video will be up before or after this video. If it's already up, I will link it. As I was getting ready to film my makeup inventory, I was kind of like looking through like what products I think I will finish up by the end of the year, and I feel like I'm gonna struggle to finish up a lot more before the end of the year. Now I still only have to use $244 worth of makeup to hit my goal of $1,500. I'm fingers crossed hopeful that I will be able to hit this goal. I'm not too concerned, but I don't think I'm gonna have any like really big months where I'm using up over like $100. We'll see, fingers crossed. But yeah, that is it for today's update for my September. I was gonna say, I don't think I live by a train track. I think that was literally cars honking at one another. Anyway, you guys, that concludes my September update for my makeup rehab series. Let me know if you guys are doing anything similar, even if you're just doing it like yourself, not on social media. Let me know how it's going. I would love to hear from you guys. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video, and I will catch you in tomorrow's. Bye.